Assyrian Christians argue that their community is experiencing ethnic cleansing in the ancient Nineveh plain. Karmella Borashan, the director of the Susek Evangelistic Association and a representative of the Assyrian International Council, joined the panel of experts. Persecution of Assyrians has been going on for centuries. What is different now?
Basically, nothing has changed. The mentality, the region has been taken over by the ISIS mentality that resided since 7th century in that region, pushing everybody out of there. They persecuted us. They said, this is an exact statement, you are Christians, you're supporting the Western world, so they killed us. They said, you're Christian, you're supporting Israel, they killed us. You're Christian, you support United States, they slaughtered us. And none of them stood by us. It used to be 1.5 million Assyrians once. In Iraq only, it has dwindled down to less than 300,000, and they are aligned to leave more due to the Islamization of minors in Iraq and land grabbing, which is a very common practice in Kurdistan region of Iraq. We are Ninevites. They're bringing Shebeks residing them, and Kurdistan government paying Kurds from Iran, Turkey, and Syria, bringing them in Nineveh plain and in Kirkuk and giving them voting powers. And they took our parliamentarian seats and putting proxies in there. And the most alarming is that ISIS mentality is growing. Everything that is happening in Iraq, everywhere in Iraq, is these restrictions aligned with the United Nations definition of genocide in the UN Genocide Convention, Article 2C.
Well, I was going to ask you if you consider it genocide. What is happening?
It is very subtle ethnic cleansing that is covered really well, and a lot of Western world don't see it because they are protecting the patriarchs, and they say, we are very tolerant for this religion, but we can see the Sharia law is being implemented by destruction of Assyrian alcohol shops and hate speeches in the mosques and everything else that follows.
The plight of minorities in North Africa and the Middle East is alarming, affecting not only Christian and Jewish communities, but also Yazidi populations. For nearly 70 years, there has been state-sponsored displacement and destruction of Yazidi communities in northern Iraq. The most horrific recent event occurred in 2014 when ISIS attacked Mount Sinjar and surrounding Yazidi areas, resulting in the slaughter of many individuals and the kidnapping of over 10,000 Yazidi women and children. More than 10 years later, approximately 1/3 of those kidnapped are still missing. Jamila Nadzo, the president of the Canadian Yazidi Association, is among those actively advocating their rescue. We had 10,000 Yazidis, mostly women and children, that were kidnapped by ISIS in the 2014-2015 period. And 3,000, as many as 3,000 are still missing, these women. So what can you tell us about what is happening now on the ground?
We know where their locations are. We know the names of these women and children. Like in Canada, we sponsor quite a few Yazidi families, and I sit with these mothers and they show me photos of their kids and they say they're in this house, in this community, on this street, in this village in Iraq. And there's nothing we can do to get them because there's no political will on any fronts, internationally or domestically, to commence with rescue operations. So that's sort of the situation we're in right now in terms of rescue operations. We know it's possible. The U.S. just a few months ago rescued a young Yazidi woman from Gaza in coordination with the IDF, the Jordanians, and other diplomatic missions in the region. So we know that, you know, when the U.S. puts its political sort of power behind these types of operations, it is possible. We just we need more of it.
Well, maybe some rescued Yazidi women should go and meet with President Trump. I think that would probably get him behind it.
There's certain things you can't say. Don't speak up. Wait until we have our piece of the pie. Wait until we're done our conversations. Wait until we get billion-dollar oil and gas deals. Wait till we get X, Y, and Z. And then maybe, if there's time, we'll have a prayer breakfast and we'll invite you and we'll say we're advancing religious minority rights in the Middle East, and we're a safe haven for groups like yours. So it's a lot of marketing and nice words, and it's our communities are being left behind, and we are being uprooted, and we are on the brink of being extinct.
Up next, what can be done to save these minority communities on the edge of extinction? Some thoughts from former Congressman Frank Wolf, a champion and advocate for religious freedom.